Namaste, and welcome to Acharya Shunya's podcast, Shadow to Self, a show created to inspire you to step out of fear and darkness into a place of freedom and empowerment. In each episode, she'll explore humanity's deepest questions about your relationship with yourself and others, illuminated by the ancient and non-dual wisdom of the Vedas, Upanishads, and Bhagavad Gita. Keep listening.
Welcome to my podcast, Shadow to Self, Season 2, where we explore how yoga burns again. Not the yoga of stretchy promises and spiritual highs that fade with the morning. Not the yoga that flatters your shadow or bypasses your pain. But the yoga that yokes you to something real. The yoga that burns through illusion and lights the inner fire of truth. In today's episode, I want to take you into a quiet moment that's been unfolding in my life recently. I've been teaching Karma Yoga slowly, deeply, and with reverence through a 10-month immersive study of the Bhagavad Gita. This is not a commercial sprint to peak spiritual performance. This is a long fire. A sacred unfolding lived one verse at a time. And every week, sincere seekers from over 21 countries gather with me, not to take something from me, but to burn together in the teachings. And that in itself is Yajña. Let me explain. Yajña, spelled Y-A-J-N-A, is a Sanskrit word that appears in chapter 3 of the Bhagavad Gita in the section on the yoga of action, Karma Yoga. Nowadays, many people associate Yajña with some kind of fancy fire ritual of the Hindus. And yes, in later India, the India of today, that's how it came to be practiced. Beautiful, sublime, but there is something more to Yajña. Originally, Yajña meant something way deeper. It is the act of offering our body, our mind, our senses, our intellect, our gifts towards the greater good into the fire of universal contribution, not consumption. And when we give this way intentionally, wholeheartedly, selflessly, do you know what happens? The universe responds. There is a quiet promise woven into the fabric of consciousness. You do your duty, and I, as in the universal consciousness, will take care of you. That promise, that reciprocity is the essence of Yajña. And it is this principle that we are contemplating together on Tuesday evenings. I think I'm going to pause here and address the shadow. Because if Yajña is the truth, then the shadow is quite the opposite. The shadow says, each one for themselves. It whispers, this is a dog-eat-dog world. It teaches us, subtly, constantly, that selfishness is not only natural, hey, a little bit is necessary. That contribution is perhaps weakness. Selflessness, stupid idealism. Sacrifice, naivety. That giving without getting, foolish. We are taught, even in our spiritual circles in contemporary times that life exists to serve us, our desires, that the universe is a marketplace and we are entitled to its goodies. That if we vibrate at the right frequency, if we think away in the right formula, life will reward us with everything we want. But that's not yajna. That's spiritual consumerism. That's spiritual shadow. Well-dressed, eloquent, and even hashtagged. Give them a chance, and these contemporary spiritual teachings will seduce you right into believing that the universe is like a cow, a sacred beast to be milked and milked till our unquenchable thirst is finally quenched, if ever. This universe is a wish fulfillment vending machine of sorts, waiting to deliver your dreams if only you think right, breathe right, manifest right, chant right. Enough. Isn't that exhausting? And so goes the great deception. But the Bhagavad Gita peacefully says, through its teachings of Karma Yoga, something quite different. It does not ask you to manipulate the cosmos. It invites you to participate in it. Not as a consumer alone, but as a co-creator, a contributor. Not as a beggar, but as a flame belonging to the sacred flame of existence. The truth is simpler and older. It is sanatana, eternal. It is what we Vedic people call dharma. What is right, not just for me, but for you and for all people, and not just now, but in all times, past, present, future, that is dharma. It's universal. And we did not come here to take from life. We came here to be used by life, to be converted into instruments for the growth of all, for the evolution of consciousness, for the harmony of all, for the beauty and peace of all. So when we shift from being selfish in our thinking about the universe to being selfless, instead of thinking, what can I get? To thinking more like, what can I give? And if I'm already giving from this right place, the right attitude, then that's when the real fire of yoga begins to burn. And this is the perfect moment to speak directly to something I witness almost every day. So many people I meet in everyday life, not just my students, friends, family, neighbors, relatives, and some students. Intelligent, sincere, even spiritually well-read, and they confess to me with a sigh, my time hasn't come, has it? When will it come, O Shunya? O Acharya, bless me. And then some even quote the world back to me. Every dog has its day. So they wait like dogs, panting, tongues out, jumping from teacher to teacher, course to course, trying to manifest the one breakthrough, that one windfall, that one moment when the universe finally showers them with success, wealth, purpose, and love. And yes, they may even try to spiritualize their waiting. They give it fancy names. They take the next course and the next and the next and the next healing and the next shortcut. And they chant away, visualizing what they want to receive next. But if such people, and some of them do, show up in my Karma Yoga class because now destiny says your wait is over, you can finally learn the right way of aligning with the universe. Then I tell them something radically different. I tell them, the great turning point you are waiting for, it will never come as long as you're sucking the life out of life. It doesn't come when you manipulate life like the udders of a cow. It comes when you become useful to life. Like the sun is useful, the moon is useful, the tree is useful, the bird is useful, the grass is useful. When you stop demanding and start offering, when you stop chasing and start contributing truly, when you align yourself with the intelligence of the cosmos, which is not selfish, but selfless. Everything you have has really just come to you from the selfless universe. And that's when life begins to turn. That's when the doors open. That's when grace flows. That's when life wants to bless you. Because now you're no longer in opposition to life. You are an instrument of harmony, of light, of well-being. And when that happens, you don't just get your day. You become the day itself. You become the light. You become the hero. Not just of your own story, but for so many more. This is the invitation of Karma Yoga. This is Yajña. This is the real spiritual power, not the shadow. And let me tell you, we are all born naked, and we will leave this planet naked. Nothing we will take with us. And in between this fleeting, shimmering dream of a life, we are not here to hoard, demand, keep a list, lament. We are here to extract meaning, praise, love, and true power that is shared. We are here to give ourselves fully, freely, and with fierce love. This is Yajña. So Yajña can be, but it simply is not just a ritual performed in front of a sacred flame by the Hindu priest. That's just diminishing of a great concept, rushing to convert it into a symbolic act of sacrifice versus true giving. It's a ritual of the greater self, offered moment by moment. It is how you show up at work. It is how you meet your relationships. It's how I show up for my students, as a teacher, for my father, as a daughter. How you walk into challenges, how you take your next breath. It's a daily decision. I am not here to be served by life. I'm here to serve life. That shift from what I can take to what I can give, it's not just a moral decision. It's a threshold between shadow and self. Because the shadow hoards. It fears lack. It schemes. It grabs. It performs. It makes lists. It wants. But the self alone gives, without needing a list, a stage, applause. It simply offers because it is abundant from within. And in that offering, everything changes. Life begins to plan with you, not against you. You stop burning out, you start burning bright, I tell you. And this is how Karma Yoga ignites you. This is Yajña lived from the inside out. And this is the path from shadow to self. And this is why the theme of my second season is Yoga Burns Again. Because I want to talk about exactly these kind of misconceptions. But I know what you might be thinking. It can look like the Gita is mistaken. Because the people who are constantly planning, plotting, racing towards their goals, who wake up every morning with vision boards, hustle routines, market strategies, they do seem to be getting ahead, don't they? They are plucking the goodies of the universe with sheer willpower. It's everything, isn't it? Some use charm, some use pressure, some negotiate, others manipulate. Some are good in diplomacy, others in hustle and bribery. Coercion is yet the way of another, and manipulation, pretty much everyone's go-to tool. This is it. This is what in Sanskrit, in the Gita, we say, Sama, Dama, Danda, Bheda, every strategy in the book to get what you want. And yes, they may even get what they want, the promotion, the platform, the applause, the money, the sex, the car, the big house on the beach, and a second one, a vacation house. Are these your role models? Because I ask you to look deeper. Are they truly happy? Is their happiness sustainable? Is their happiness true happiness? Because true happiness comes with peace of mind. It does not need to be numbed with alcohol, sex, and more money in the bank. Do they have love and respect and steady relationships? Do they have poise and detachment in their soul? Because true success, as the Gita teaches, is not just the outer win, but the inner win. That state of inner okayness, inner wholeness, unshakable resilience. Do they have that? Because it does not come from grasping at life and collecting the goodies and locking them up for your personal use. Oh no. Because all of those wins, or so-called wins, come with something opposite. Unhappiness. Private unhappiness. We often hear of drug abuse, alcohol abuse, substance abuse of every kind, suicide, self-harm, addictions, painkillers. This is what goes on behind those closed doors of people who apparently have everything they wanted from the universe. Because they hustled for it, because they breathed for it, because they chanted for it. And I want to tell you something personal now, because none of this is theory for me. I have lived this. There was a time not too long ago, maybe just 3 decades ago, when I too was living a life of sincere spiritual striving, but the center of gravity was still me and my tiny family. I wasn't selfish in the way the world might define it, but I was self-purposed. My energy flowed into my family, my lineage, my guru, my spiritual unfoldment, my dogs, my garden, my life. And it was a sacred path, but still, it was circled around the self, the small self. What in Karma Yoga we called mamakara. Me and mine. I was growing slowly, but something was missing. The turning point came when the teachings of Karma Yoga from my Guru Baba Ayodhya clicked, and they became a living reality. And I realized what he had been living and imparting to me, that this knowledge, this tradition, these teachings that I have received from my ancestors, they are not mine to protect and lock up. They are mine to give away. And in that moment, something inside me broke open. I founded Vedika Global not as a brand, not as a business, but as an offering, a yajna. I made the teachings of Ayurveda, Yoga, Vedanta so affordable, so accessible, and so much of it free. Even now, my Vedic study circle is open to all, completely based on donations. I chose not to dilute, not to entertain, not to package. I simply gave. And that I slowly started diminishing, because who was giving from within was none other but that ultimate reality. Was there even a small self when the small self has no selfishness to hold on to? And everything changed for me. Suddenly, life turned toward me with a force I couldn't have imagined. Students found me across continents and cultures. My words reached into books, podcasts, platforms I never chased. The Prime Minister of India wrote to me inviting me 3 different times to meetings in India to advise his team on Ayurveda and yoga affairs. I did not reach out to his team. My personal life deepened. Relationships healed, love blossomed, support came from unexpected places. How did all this happen? Because something in me had opened up to say, oh yeah, I'm stepping up. I'm a partner of this universe. Whatever gifts I've been given, whatever talent, whatever teachings, that's my contribution back. If I'm cooking food for my son, that's my contribution. If I'm cooking for my neighbors, that's my contribution. If I'm teaching, that's my contribution to the universe. The universe that has given me this body, these senses, this intellect, these ancestors. My biology, my psychology, my intellect, everything I have received. Then let whatever comes through me be an offering. That me started dissolving. And the greater me started emerging, and with the greater me, I stopped leading life. Life began to lead me. And I knew this is what happens when you stop trying to get from life and begin to give yourself fully to it. This was my movement, dear listeners, from shadow to self. From self-focused growth to self-offered growth. From a needy person to becoming a contributor. From a student of dharma to somebody who lives dharma. And this is why I teach Karma Yoga, and I will continue to return to teach Karma Yoga every few years inside my Vedic study circle. Because once you become useful to life, life becomes useful to you. Now, I offer that same mirror to you. If you are still waiting for your big moment, your turning point, your destined day, your glory, then you are still sitting in the shadow. Ask yourself, are you here to take from life, or do you have something, anything that you can give back to life as its instrument, as its caretaker, its grace, its fire? Because when you stop grasping and you begin giving, you become a true yogi. Not every dog has its day, but every yogi can succeed. This is the promise of Vedic wisdom from the source, such as the Bhagavad Gita. This is the path from shadow to self. I invite you to let go of excessive strategy, timing, list making, and instead take a stock of the gifts you already have from the universe and put them into service. Share them with someone. And remember, this is not tit for tat. This is you striving to offer, efforting to change from consumer to contributor. And just your sincere efforts will be enough. The universe is very intelligent. It will note that your deepest attitude is changing and wait to see the miracle. This is the miracle of Yajña. This is Acharya Shunya. We are about to close this special podcast because it's deeply connected to my journey. And if you are listening to this podcast when I release it in mid-July, I want to extend a heartfelt invitation. I'll be speaking at the Ramdas Summer Mountain Retreat in Boone, California from August 14th to 18th. It's a sacred gathering where bhakti and Buddhism, mantra and meditation, they all come together. I'll be joined by luminaries such as Krishna Das, Dr. Robert Thurman, David Nichtern, Nina Rao, and so many others. So if you are in the East Coast or you can travel, then maybe I will see you in Boone. Come say hello to me and tell me that you heard of me here on Shadow to Self. It would be a joy to meet you in person. And then we can talk all about how yoga burns again. Until then, offer yourself to life and let the fire of yoga burn again. This is Acharya Shunya. Until next time.
If you loved this episode, there's a way to show your love. Just go to acharyashunya.com and make a donation to support the production of this podcast. You can also rate, review, and share this episode with others. Live on YouTube every month. Browse her online wisdom school for her latest course offerings. And thanks for listening.